Hello, I'm Mr. Picton and I'd like to tell you a bit about music technology, which is a really exciting subject to do. Music is all around us, of course, all the time in various different ways and different guises. It's all been produced, it's been recorded, it's been composed using some form of technology. And so music technology is about music as it is now. It's about doing it, it's about creating it. So there's a lot of practical work involved. You're going to be working at the computers quite a lot, as these people are behind me. You're also going to be working with professional recording equipment. And some of the things you'll have to do are, for example, making a really high quality multi-track recording of a song. Okay, with your composition work, we want you to be really creative with the sounds. You're going to use technology, you're going to use synthesis, you're going to use effects, you're going to use sampling techniques to create a whole new kind of soundscape, and this is what we want to see in this composition. It needs to be really interesting, really unusual. It's getting away from traditional music composition, but it's using all of the technology at your disposal. So we're going to learn about, we're not going to look just at techniques of composing, so filtering and moving samples around and doing all that sort of thing. We're going to look at the history of the equipment as well, where it's come from, where it's going, because of course it's a rapidly changing field and there are advances all the time in the technology, and we try and take those on board as well. So things like, how do you listen to music, how do we communicate, how do we sort of use the advantages of the internet and all that sort of thing to listen to music. So in addition to doing two major pieces of coursework, there are two written exams. The first one is a listening exam, so we'll be listening to music from the 1950s to the present day and answering questions based on the production techniques of those songs. So things like, what effects can you hear, how has it been recorded? The second exam is done at Logic, at the computer, and you're given some STEM files, and during the course of the exam you'll be putting those files together and creating a mix of a song. What you need to do this course is to enjoy creating sounds. You don't need strong skills of musicianship, you don't have to be a practical performer, but you do need to be able to sit down at a computer and create sounds and listen. You need good powers of aural discrimination. You don't need to have completed music at GCSE level, as long as you show a real interest in the subject. And with that, I'll leave you with three students who will tell you a little bit about what they're doing at the moment.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tig, and I'm going to be talking about music technology in sixth form, and the parts of listening and analysing, and just the theory side. So that all throughout kind of year 7 to where we are now, that's kind of been drilled into us from in music classes, is just genres and styles of music from 70s, 80s, 90s, all up to present day, and so this has kind of created the basic framework for kind of what we work on in music tech. We approach learning about genres, kind of what works with what, musical elements in them, distinguishing features, and that kind of we apply that to everything, our compositions, mixing, producing, that's it. So now at sixth form, with this this in-depth knowledge of genres, we can now apply it to the heavier stuff that you learn in music tech, such as learning how to mix, which is equalization, but not just learning how to do it, but how all the software works, and that can then be applied to loads of extracurricular activities, such as mini-fest concerts, the drama productions working on the lighting or the tech side, the Christmas concerts, spring concerts, all working with loads of people, and you get to apply all of this. I mostly do, I play in a band, and we did the mini fest. I also have had lead roles for a couple years in the drama productions. That's just what I like to do. But having that knowledge helps me kind of really understand what everyone else is kind of going through. So it's like, oh, you know, I've got to be quiet here and all this stuff, and it just kind of helps everything run really smoothly. So yeah, I just love doing music tech and all that I can now apply it to, and you know, with all the extracurricular activities, there's just, you know, endless amounts that you can do.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm also take music tech. Unlike others, I didn't do GCSE music, but I did have a true passion for like listening to music, or I really did want to make my own music. So obviously, like I then sort of learned to play guitar. That sort of developed on, and now that leads to the. I didn't actually take GCSE music, but I always had a passion to listen or create music of my own. So going on to music tech really sort of helped me expand that and develop it even further, because I always sort of wanted to do it, but I think music gave me the opportunity to do that. And I think if you're interested in this and you're watching this, then you definitely do have that passion and you are interested in that. So, you know, just go for it. And I didn't have any setbacks, and I don't think you will either. So, yeah, it's brilliant. I'm focusing on the composition side of music, and that sort of entails, you know, making music of your own or adding soundtracks to videos and sort of creating a world of your own. So I mainly play guitar. I've been doing that since year 9, and obviously that's led me to be in a band with these people and yeah, do live music, and yeah, it's great. But with composition, we have like certain tasks to do within, you know, a couple of weeks, or then we sort of like we set the video and we have to sort of create our own sort of like atmosphere out of synths or anything like that. And it's brilliant because you sort of get to manipulate and sort of turn a conventional sound into something which isn't, which I think is really cool because it's your own. It's not just like the sort of bass sound. You can sort of, you know, with Logic you can use all these like sort of things to manipulate and really create a sort of a really happy sort of theme, or a really sad or haunting sort of theme which goes along with, you know, how you want it to sort of feel. And I think that's brilliant.
So hi, my name is Alfie, and I also take music tech along with these two. And yeah, so for me, like one of the main reasons I took it, and for me one of the best parts of this course really for me has to be the recording section for me, because like, you know, like I've always loved and wanted to make my own music, but I never knew how to do it. You know, I didn't know anything about how to like equalize or to like properly mix it, or even like channeling things left and right or anything like that. And the course has really like, you know, given me the tools to do that. And sort of, and a big part of that was sort of a big part of the course is creating a multi-track recording, which you do via the recording studio and using the Macs that the school has, and all the equipment that they have too, which is really useful to have. And it's also really great because it allows you to properly like apply a lot of the theory and the skills that you have, for example, like miking up like an acoustic guitar, or miking up a vocalist, even miking up a drum kit, and essentially what you learn about that, and then just properly put it into something and then create something of it, you create an output which sounds, you know, which can sound really good. And so, you know, once you've finished, you know, recording it, and then you sort of get down to the mixing side of it. You know, you apply the EQ, you do the compression, you do everything like that, and also you can create an output and create a song that you can like properly, you know, play through some really good, decent speakers, and it can sound great. You know, instead of, you know, sort of your old recordings you make when you were like 10 or 11, which when you even play slightly loud, it just sounds terrible. And not just the skills from music tech you can learn during this, but also just the amount of passion that I have and many other people have who are also part of this department can also be transferred on all sorts of different things. Like I do tons of extracurricular stuff. Like for example, last year I was part of the band in the upper school production, which was Grease, which was so much fun to do. For a really long time I took guitar lessons at the school, and to this day I still continue to take drum lessons, which is my main instrument. It's been so rewarding to do. I'm quite close to taking the grade 7 exam in that actually, so I'm really looking forward to do that. And that's just among, you know, loads of other things that, you know, that I've managed to do, and I think I can probably talk for quite a few people sort of being part of this, you know, department and doing all the extracurricular stuff and everything music related. It's a great confidence booster, I find. And so yeah, it's I really recommend it, even if you feel like so not confident with yourself and like feel shy. Believe me, like in year 7 I was the shyest person ever. But you know, now I feel like so much more confident to just put myself out there, and so yeah, it's been really helpful. So even if you're hesitant, like go for it. Honestly, it's really good.